Hello, let's get straight into it. So you want to improve at BanG, maybe you've hit a skill wall, or you're just looking for some tips to improve your gameplay. So I'm going to share what I've found that's helped me the most. So I've played a few rhythm games over the years. I've played Osu for a lot, BanG, more recently D4DJ, Project Sakai, Groove Coaster, and some arcade ones. And in all of these, there comes a point where you'll hit a skill wall, and it just seems like it's impossible to break out of it, and you just get comfortable within a skill range. So I'll discuss what to do to overcome this. If there's anything you take away from this video, please just watch the first two tips, as I guarantee you will improve if you seriously apply them. It's not going to happen instantly, but if you seriously stick with it and apply them, I guarantee you will improve. So just a quick disclaimer before getting into things. For BanG, I play on the Japanese server. I use an iPad, I play with fingers, and all these tips in this video are just from my experience, being hard stuck at level 20 songs, and then again at level 25 songs for a period of time. There is no correct way to play rhythm games. That's what makes them so fun. You can take whatever style you want, and if it works for you, that's great. Also, these first two tips are not limited to just BanG. They'll work for any rhythm game and any skill-based game in general. Okay, so the first and most important thing is to always push your limits. This is so important. Like, I can't stress enough how important this is to break through the skill wall. You must always be pushing your limits. The worst thing to do in this situation is just to play the songs that you're comfortable on. You can easily full combo it or all perfect. Like, it's very easy to fall into this trap of just only playing the songs that you do really well on. And this, like, to improve, you just have to push your limits. Like, we've all been here with rhythm games. It feels good, you destroy every song, you full combo everything, it feels great. But this security is detrimental to your improvement. So my personal example with this is I got to the point where I could clear and full combo a lot of level 25 songs, but I was really struggling with 26 and above, and I really wanted to clear 6 Trillion Years, the 29 level song, but I'd only play it every now and again and try to clear it, and obviously I failed miserably. And then I'd just go back to my 25s where I felt comfortable and full comboed everything. This was not the right way to approach it. This was so bad in hindsight, and I think we've all been here at some point. So after you've warmed up, you've maybe played a few songs, you're comfortable with your gameplay, you want to try and find songs that you can either just barely pass or you just fail. Like, it's very close to going either way. These songs are the perfect way to level up your skill. So going back to my example where I was stuck at 25s, after you've warmed up, just play some 26s, see what happens. You'll find there's obviously some very hard 26s and very easy. So find the ones that you can almost pass or you can just pass, because these will introduce new patterns, make you read the notes faster, you'll have to adapt quicker. And it might be very hard at the first, and you might want to feel like giving up, going back to your comfortable 25s, but please, if you just stick with it, 26s will be so easy within no time, and then you'll jump up once again, you'll be trying to clear 27s, stuck at 26, and so on. And going back to my example, when I was hard stuck at 25 level songs, after applying this method, it took a while, but I got to the point where I can comfortably clear all 27s. I've full comboed a few. I can clear half of the 28s, and I achieved my goal of clearing the expert on 6 Trillion Years. And this leads into the next and second most important point that goes hand in hand with pushing your limits. It's to set goals. So for setting goals, I'm going to get straight to the point, without a clear goal or goals, you have nothing to work towards. So it'll be difficult to find the drive to actually improve, and you'll just slip back into your comfort zone. So my goal, as I said, was clear 6 Trillion Years on expert, and to achieve this, I had to work my way up through the 26s, 27s, 28s, and then finally I was able to clear it. So having goals like this, it just gives you a tangible end product. So you can see the outcome of your improvement or your practice. And for goal recommendations, maybe clear a song in a new difficulty range. So if you haven't cleared a 27 yet, that's your goal, clear a level 27 song. Or maybe clear all songs in a difficulty range, so clear all 26s. Do you have a song you really enjoy and you can't clear it? This is perfect. Clear your favorite song on the hardest difficulty. That's a really good goal. Your love for the song will push you to improve to be able to achieve that. And just to wrap up the goals section, it's important to constantly assess your goals, and then when you clear them, make new goals so you don't fall into the trap again. So that's the two most important things. Now we'll get into some more niche things and some more BanG Dream specific things. So for playing, I recommend to always play multi-live and choose random, or makase in the Japan server. They actually have added a random which will shuffle the songs and choose one from your preset settings. I don't think this is on the English version yet. So if you choose random or just a different song every time, you will constantly be exposed to new patterns, rhythms, and styles of map, and this will greatly improve your progress. So for example, like Hello Happy World maps versus Rosalia maps, there's a very big difference in the styles of map they are and how you play them. So you don't want to constantly just be falling into one of those styles of map, always change it up. Okay, so flicks. Some people love them, some people hate them. I personally love flicks as they add a much needed element of difficulty into the game. So if you're not aware, you don't actually have to flick upwards in the direction that the icon indicates. You can flick in any direction you like. And I highly suggest learning to flick in all directions, actually up, left, right, down, diagonal. Just play around with it, see what feels most comfortable for you. For me, I use diagonally the most as that felt more comfortable. Learning to flick in all directions comes very helpful at the higher difficulty range because you need to reset your thumb or fingers faster after a flick, and up is not always the best for this. So I'll have a clip here that just shows some high level flick maps. And then when you're learning the flicks that are connected to a blue note, like you can see here, I've struggled very hard with this at the start. Like just flicking with one finger and tapping with the other just was not working for me. So you can actually treat the blue note as a hold and tap and hold that one and then flick with your other finger until you're comfortable enough to flick and tap at the same time. This personally helped me a lot with these notes. Okay, so for settings, like rhythm games give you so much control over how the gameplay field operates, and you need to use this to your advantage. So for example, you can change the note speed, note size, and it's important to play with these values because the default is almost always not going to be right for you. So for example, when I was hard stuck on 25 level songs, one day I just increased my note speed from 10.6 to 10.7. That's such a small change, but it was night and day difference in helping me be able to clear the harder patterns because I could just read it easier with less clutter on the screen. And then when I finally upped it again to 10.8, it just became so much easier for me. But that's just me personally. Some people prefer a slower note speed, and if that works for you, go for it. Similar to that, play around with the note size as well, because after Project Sakai launched, their notes are really big in comparison, or they have big and small ones. So when coming back to BanG Dream, it looked tiny and was actually really hard to play. So I just upped my note size to 130% and then eventually back down to 120% where it felt the most comfortable. Okay, so speaking of Project Sakai, I strongly recommend to have at least one other rhythm game to play because it'll help you break your bad habits and autopilot for BanG Dream, because you need to adjust to the new game, and then when you come back to BanG Dream, you need to readjust to BanG Dream style. So this will require more focus from you and likely aid your improvement, as you're not going to be autopiloting, or you won't be as relaxed because you'll be more switched on because you need to get back into the rhythm of Bang Dream. So especially going from a harder game back to an easier one, as I think Project Sakai is a lot harder than Bang Dream. I'd recommend not using the perfect lock skill characters, that their skill is all notes will be perfect for X amount of seconds. I just think this will hinder your accuracy improvement, and while it's not a big deal, I just don't recommend it. So another niche tip would be if you start a long note and that has a tap at the end, like in this clip here. When I started with the wrong finger, I tried to sneak my other finger underneath and tap it, but that never worked well for me. What you can actually do is with the same finger, just before the end of the hold note, you can just move it to the tap note, as you can see, and it actually registers. Like, this is a very niche tip that will be only helpful if you're like, if you panicked and you're going for a full combo run and you start with the wrong finger. Like Garupa Pico, the first one, gets me like 90% of the time. I even know it's coming and I still mess it up like every time. And for some patterns, you just need to like feel the rhythm. This is very hard to explain, but coming from playing multiple instruments and just being into music in general, sometimes you'll just be able to like hear the song and anticipate how the upcoming pattern plays out. This will allow you to focus more on the note location rather than like trying to understand the pattern as it's coming towards you. And in turn, it'll allow you to focus more on accuracy rather than reading. Um, Once again, it's hard to explain this one properly, but if you understand what I'm saying, I think it will help you. Alright, that's going to be all for this. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps you break through a skill wall or find a new approach or a tip for a certain situation. If you have any feedback or questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer every single one. If you're struggling with a specific area of gameplay, leave that in the comments. I'll try to help. If there's anything I've missed, please let me know. I can make a part 2 or a just specific video on that, or just answer in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. It's the first time making something like this, so please, constructive criticism is very welcome, and thank you.